The P stands for personal, or in your case, it can be a blend of both because it's personal and it's professional. So you want to build that community, in the medical community. Oh, I already exist. I'm a med student. So are you going to target more your audience now? Are you going to target more med students, people who want to get into medical, college kids, already doctors, patients?
It's going to be a little bit of everything.
Anyone who cares.
Probably, probably my first target will be, because I want to go in order. I want to start my first episodes on how I got into it, and then how I was totally off that rail. I was furthest thing from that path. And then how I ended up, even though I didn't take that path, I ended up back on it, and just kind of be like, hey guys, there's hope. Don't listen to those pre-med advisors that are trying to be cutthroat right now. Like, because a lot of them do, because there's no community they can go to and be like, oh, because when I was going through it, I had to, it was my way of trying to find relief. I Googled pre-medical student with 2.3 GPA got accepted to medical school, and there was like Reddit pages,
Reddit posts, so you got to go to Reddit.
And it was so discouraging. And then when I did get into medical school, I started finding some people that kind of related. So then I'll talk about my medical school experience, and just go in order, and definitely want to be talking to doctors, but not in the sense of, so how's it like being a doctor?
Yeah, a more you dig deeper.
Yeah.
Right, because when you have someone like that on and you have a podcast like that, it's very easy to kind of fall into the basic generic questions.
Yeah.
And those are fine to start off with. Like anytime I talk to someone new, like I got a financial planner coming on in a few weeks. You know, the basics of, you know, who are you, what do you do, and what pretty much like what got you here, why did you choose this path? Just as like a solid icebreaker foundation, you know who that person is, your audience knows who it is, but then you can get right down to the nitty gritty. It's like if it's finance, but okay, why is the economy is how it is, and why do people say it's good, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, we're gonna talk about this now, right? But like you guys set that foundation. But yeah, talking to a doctor, what are your concerns about trying to talk to doctors?
Was it worth it?
That's yeah.
I mean, I love this field. Just, if anyone knows my past, they'll know I love this field. But there's always that fear of like, oh God, I'm giving up a decade. I'm going to give up some more. And then I'm going to be away from my family, which is what a lot of us are trained to think, but come to find out you actually don't have to be. There's ways around that too. But I just want to talk to a doctor who's been through it and ask, not, well, why'd you get into medicine? What do you love about it so much? Everyone has their own answer.
Yeah.
But was it worth it? If you could go back, would you do it again?
Yeah.
Or would you pick something else?
Well, like, how did because even as for students, right? Like, you know, you're like fresh in college, right? So you know you want to be, I don't know, a heart surgeon, right? And you know since you got into college, like that's what you want to do. You're bright-eyed, 18 years old. You know, you go through school. You're still bright-eyed because you don't know how hard medical school really is. You have things, but you don't really know. You get through medical school. And then by that point, all the debt's mounted up, all the hard work is done. And it's just like part of you, you're not that bright-eyed 18-year-old anymore. Some of you, you're definitely jaded. Like it's going to change you. And like, is it possible to anticipate that change? And how do you react to that change? Because I think of that myself too with podcasting, right? Like, how is success going to change me? It's not will it, it's how will it?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't want to get jaded, but I think that can happen with anyone who comes to success, but even specifically in medicine, because you work so hard, you get so much debt, you get to a point kind of like, you know what, screw everyone else, I'm in this for me now, because you have to be.
I saw it change people 3 ways. One, I saw them grow and mature and not be so bright-eyed, be maybe a little jaded, but a little more, I hate using the word realistic, but
it's a good word though.
I hate using it, but for lack of a better word, realistic, and just, you know, realize that this is going to be a hard path. It's not meant to be easy. No one said it was going to be easy. And the issue is not that it's hard. That's the thing. And then I see it change people as in they get very depressed. I recently lost a friend last year to suicide because of this. And she didn't want to quit because she didn't want to disappoint her family. There were so many years that were spent on it. And that's the one big motivator in doing this, trying to get people to come out of their cave. Like, no, you don't need to give up your whole entire life. You can do things. You can, because a lot of us, we don't party, we don't socialize, we don't go out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of friends that do, but a majority of us, we don't. So like, come here, there's a community here. You can just listen while you're preparing your notes. But the third way is, I've seen it change people, as in they let the, yeah, I've been through this, I made it, get to their head.
Egos. Huge
egos. And like, I was just talking to a friend a couple days ago. She just was finishing up her residency. She works at a very nice hospital. Not gonna say where, I don't want to give away too much, but in medical school she used to cry a lot. Like, she was very depressed. And now she seems very happy. And she told me, being a doctor is harder, medical school is nothing. I was like, that's very discouraging. Like, you're disregarding all of our feelings. She was like, well, you guys have it easy right now. Wait until you're a doctor. And I was like, I got one question for you. Do you still cry though? She was like, no. Like, so? You used to spend every day crying. You don't cry anymore. You get paid. It's like,
money solves a lot of problems in this country.
That's a big issue too. Like in Turkey, medical students get paid. As soon as you enter rotations,
really?
You get minimum wage salary.
Interesting.
Yep. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, it changes you. You don't come out the same as you walked in. So that could be in a bad way. It could be in a good way. Medical school and the pre-medical track is a lot of growth. It's just, you kind of have to navigate how that goes.